It is a beautiful morning. It's about 9:45. It's 50 degrees. There's not a cloud in the sky. So spring is definitely here. It's supposed to get up to about 70 degrees today. So I want to walk you through here and show you what's growing. So this is my first bed, and everything's looking nice. I'm real happy with everything. I just side dressed all of my plants with some compost. I blend it with some other ingredients, and so I will include a link here if you would like to see what I side dress my plants with. And I like to do this in the spring, especially right before we expect a rain, so that it all gets watered in nicely. And so the sugar snap peas are looking great. I'm starting to work them over to the trellises, as you can see here. And then the gray shallots are greening up nicely. Real happy with that. Looking forward to those this year. And then the India mustard. These are all, I grew all these from seed, and the Pac-Man broccoli, the Napa cabbage, and the kale are all looking really good. So happy with this bed. Have some, I think those are common chives right there. I actually transplanted those from my son's garden bed over here when I moved his bed, and these are going to seed. So I'll have some nice pretty little purple flowers on there soon. I can throw those in a salad. Those will be nice. So this is my second bed. A lot more Napa cabbage, and let's see what else I have in here. Some shallots, and more Napa cabbage, more broccoli over here, and then of course the sugar snap peas. I'm starting to work those on to the trellis over here. I also need to do that over here, but with this one I'm faced with a little bit more of a challenge. I need to put some string going up the archway, just like I've done all of my other archways, so that it has something to grab onto. Okay, and over here is bed number 3. I was just about to harvest some spinach. I'm going to make a salad for lunch this afternoon. So you can see the spinach these leaves are just huge. And then over here is the red giant mustard. It is just so beautiful. I actually cooked some of that last weekend, I think. And then more shallots. I think those are the Yellow Moon or either the Red Holland. And a lot of kale over here. My carrots, these are the Carnival blend. They're doing real nice. I thinned those. And then over here are the French breakfast radishes. They're starting to poke up a little bit out of the soil there. Maybe I can pick a few of those to throw them in my salad this afternoon. We'll see about that. Okay, and then the red cabbage is doing nice. And then the lettuce over there. Everything's doing nice. Now, if you'll recall, I had some pak choi here about, well, last weekend. I pulled it out because it was starting to bolt. And that's something I do want to point out to you if you're new to gardening, that if you notice that your greens are going to bolt, your cabbage, your lettuce, your broccoli, you'll notice it's about to bolt because the growth will slow down. Your leaves will start getting smaller, the ones that are growing. And then up through the center, you'll start to notice something very tiny coming up, and then it'll start to stretch upwards. And once you notice that, go ahead and cut the whole plant back and use it, because it's going to develop a very bitter flavor if you do not do that. So I went ahead, and even though mine were baby cabbage, I went ahead and cut them down, and I just sauteed them with some mustard greens. So it was nice, and with a lot of your leafy greens, just keep an eye on them. If they look like they're about to bolt, cut them back and eat them. Okay, and over here is some French tarragon. It's looking nice. I've got to cut off that top growth there. That way it'll start promoting more growth. Okay, so there's a lot down here that will start to take off if I can remove some of this top growth here. Okay. So you will notice that none of my beds are covered. I have removed the netting, so I do believe my critter problem has been solved. It was not a rabbit, it was a possum, and thanks to one of the viewers who suggested that I use cabbage to try to attract the critter, I put half of a head of cabbage in that little cage there, and he walked right in there, and so we relocated him yesterday. So that little critter has found a new home and is not in my garden. So I'm happy about that. I'm so relieved. Over here, I just have red onions growing. They're doing fine. And let's see, what I'll show you is that I have a lot of things that have reseeded themselves, which is what I really like every year, to see my dill coming up. There's some dill there. There's actually a lot of dill through here. I'll probably have to thin it. There's so much. And then there's a lot of cilantro. Now this cilantro bolts quickly. There's some right there. And I'm also growing another variety in my raised bed that does not bolt quickly. So this, I know that I will have to use it right when it gets sizable. I'll have to go ahead and cut it down. So I will let some of it flower because it's just so beautiful in the garden. I will include a link here if you wanted to see another video on some of the other edible flowers that I grow every year. I have calendula popping up here. I have a lot of calendula actually, and that's your marigold that you can use to cook with. I actually garnish dishes with that, and I'll include a link here for a nice little salad I did last year on that if you'd like to take a look at it. I have a few more sugar snap peas growing over there. I'm trying not to take up all of my arches with sugar snap peas. I need to save some for also growing green beans. So I will do a video here in just a few minutes on how I plan my garden. I kind of do it in my head, but I'll explain to you some of the things that I have to consider when I plant things. Okay, so hopefully that will help you. And over here I have garlic. This is the California softneck garlic. It's looking really nice. Real happy with it. Over here, California softneck garlic too. And I planted these in the fall last year. So they're doing wonderfully. The other ones that I planted in my raised bed, I think the raised bed was just too hot for it. And so they heated up and they kind of rotted on me. So these are doing nice. And now I know that in my climate I need to plant these in the ground. Okay, so let me go over here and show you what's over here. And these are some more shallots. Growing a lot of shallots this year. And then over here, this huge bush is valerian. I have got to do something with this. And the reason why, and I'll do this in my planting video here in just a minute, is I'm going to put tomatoes over here. This is where I'm planting at least 3 or 4 tomato plants. I'm not going to grow a lot of tomatoes this year. So this is going to get 5 feet tall. This is its 2nd year growth, so it is going to get huge, and it's going to be much too big for this bed where I plan to put my tomatoes. It will not let the air circulate, so that's something I have to take into consideration. So I'm going to attempt to move this. It may not transplant well. We'll just have to see. I'm going to move it to the edge of the garden, that right down there, so where it won't shade any other plants and it won't stop air circulating through the garden. Okay, so I am going to probably move that before I put my tomatoes in, so I say within 2 weeks I'm going to try to transplant that. Then the hyssop's looking beautiful, and so is the parsley. Okay, over here, just a few more herbs. Most of this I have to clean out. This will be another area where I'm going to plant probably squash and corn. I may do like a Three Sisters garden over here. And then right here is Greek oregano, looking really nice, and garlic chives. And then right here is thyme. This is silver thyme. It's just beautiful. So nice this time of year. It's the fresh new growth, and it's soft, and it's just full of flavor. Just love it. And so I made some raspberry thyme vinaigrette yesterday, and I will include a link if you would like to see a dressing that you can use. I'm going to use it actually on the salad I'm going to make this afternoon. So click on the link there. I may not have that posted yet by the time I have this garden video posted, but check back to either my channel, or if you're watching this video for the first time, just click on the link and it'll open in a new window where you can watch it later if I have it uploaded. I got a lot of videos to do. Okay, so let's see what else we have. Rat's tail over here, looking good. Growing a lot of that this year too. It's just so beautiful in the garden. And then my son's garden bed. The sugar snap peas are coming up very nice. Okay, and then I have to keep my eyes on my mint. I grow this, I just let it go in here, but I make sure to keep it pulled back because you know mint can be very invasive. So you have to, if you do grow this, actually I grew this in a container and I put it in my bed here in a container, and it escaped the container and grew into the garden bed. But it's such a nice mint that I really don't mind at all. I just have to keep my eye on it, keep it from spreading. Okay, so hopefully you're all having a wonderful day. It's beautiful, and thank you so much for watching.